G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play I Had Some Help by Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, which is a cool tune, got a nice guitar riff to it. For the basics, you'll just need your guitar in standing tuning and you won't need a capo. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. And finally, this video simply teaches you one song, but if really understanding and learning the guitar is something you've always wanted to do, but you didn't know where to start, then be sure to check out my Guitar Zero to Hero Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start off with the main riff in the intro, which is actually used throughout a whole lot of the song. If this flat picked riff is too difficult for you, I'll teach you some easy chords that you can strum along with later. So with this intro, there's 2 lines of tab here. Now I'd suggest starting with your index finger here on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, because we're going to need that in a moment. We're going to hit the open 4th string, and then with your middle finger, go to the 2nd fret. So that's our 2 lead-in notes before we get into the main part of the riff. So now ring finger goes to the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and this is going to take us into an F sus2 position. So we already have our index finger there, our ring finger is here on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. We're going to pluck the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. Now this is all plucked at 8th note, so 1 and 2. Then we're going to shift up to a C chord. So ring finger just goes up 1 string and middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string. You're going to pluck the 5th string and then hold that out for a beat and then go 4th and 2nd. Now I have the suggested picking direction below in the tab. These are the picking directions that I use, but you can use your own. And so far with the lead in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now on the end beat after the 4, we're then going to just remove our ring finger. This is an A minor 7 shape. We'll hit the 5th string, hold that out for a beat, and then go 4th and 2nd string. So that little chunk, and 1 and 2. And then you're going to lift your index finger, hit the open 2nd string, and then hold that out for a beat, and then hit the open 3rd string. So these 2 notes is just open 2nd and open 3rd. And on the 4 and beat, we just have those 2 lead-in notes, 4 and. And so far with the lead-in and the first 2 bars of music, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the 3rd and the 4th bars are almost identical. There's just one little change here, and that's after our A minor 7. So after that 2nd string pluck of the A minor 7, we're then going to take our pinky finger, go up to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, pluck that. And that's the only difference. This single note, and then we hit the open 3rd string, and then finish with the same 2 lead-in notes. So the 3rd and the 4th bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The second line of tab is the same as the first line of tab. We're just leaving out those 2 lead-in notes at the start. And in total, the intro sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so that's the intro flat picked. Now, if that is too difficult for you and you just want to strum along to this song, you can use these chords. So we just have 4 chords here, and F sus2. So we take our ring and pinky finger and we put them on the 3rd frets of the 5th and 4th string, index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and if you can, reach your thumb over the top to hit the 1st fret of the 6th string. And that's our F sus2. If you can't hit that thumb, just focus on the middle 4 strings and that will be just as good. So F sus2, then we go to a C, and then A minor 7, so just lift your ring finger from the C chord, strum from the 5th string onwards, and then a G chord. So ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, and we can just strum the first 4 or 5 strings here. If you want, you can also put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So F sus2, C, A minor 7, and G. Now, strumming pattern's just going to be a constant down-up strumming pattern at eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the point at which we change chords is on the end beat after the 2, the end beat after the 4, and the next end beat after the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 that's just played through 4 times as an easy way of playing the intro. Now let's get to the verse. So part 1 of the verse, we have another flat picked riff, which is very similar to the intro. There is one change here though in the second line of tab. So the first line of tab is basically the same as what we had in the intro. We've really learnt that. Now in the second line of tab, in the third bar after the C chord, we're not going to go to an A minor 7 chord. We're going to go straight to a G chord. So from the C chord, just move your ring finger up to the 3rd fret of the 6th string and have your pinky finger here going onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now we're going to hit that G note on the end beat after the 4, hold that out for a beat, and then pluck 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then 2nd, 3rd, and then play the 2 leader notes. And the G chord in total, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and the 3rd and 4th bar together. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... So that's it for verse part 1, which will sound like this in total. Now verse part 2, which is also used in the bridge, is very similar to verse part 1. This G chord is just tweaked a little bit. So we're going to go root note on the end beat after the 4, then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 4th, and then 2nd. So the G chord, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then we jump into the chorus. So I'll play just the second line of tab in total. Next, let's get to the chorus. And this is also an easier way to play the verse if that flat picking is too difficult for you. In the studio recording, the chorus is flat picked and then there's all these other instruments over the top to make it sound fuller. But if you're just playing this on the acoustic guitar, you probably want to switch to something a bit bigger. So that's why I like to strum this chorus. So there's 2 lines of chords here. The first line of chords is identical to that easy intro I taught you. So F sus2, C, A minor 7, and G. And again, we're using that same down up strumming pattern, but we're changing on the end beat after the 2, the end beat after the 4, and the next end beat after the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that first line of chords is played through 3 times. And then for the second line of chords, it's almost the same, except we're dropping the A minor. So from the C, we go straight to a G chord, and we play that for the rest of the strumming pattern. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's it for the chorus, which is also an easy way of playing the verse. And that will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the only other rhythm sections to consider are the post-choruses. So for post-chorus 1, we can just take the first line of chords for the intro and we're playing that through twice. For post-chorus 2 and post-chorus 3, we're playing that line of chords through 4 times. And that's everything for the rhythm guitar. Now in terms of tone for the lead guitar, I've got a mid-gain sort of amp, push that gain up a little bit, and I've just added some reverb and some delay. I'll leave a link to the Boss Tone patch in the description below. Now the lead part's pretty simple. There's just 1 line of tab here. And an easy way of sort of thinking about this lead riff is that the notes are played on the 2 end and 4 end beat in general. There's one exception to this, but for the most part, the rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's an easy way to sort of understand the timing. So we're starting with the 8th fret of the 1st string, and this is on the 2 beat. Hit that, slide down to the 7th fret on the end beat after the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. On the 4 end beat, take your ring finger, go to the 10th fret of the 2nd string, hit that, and slide down to the 8th fret on the end beat after the 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now on the next 2 beat, for the next bar, we go back up to the 10th fret, hit that, and then on the end beat after the 2, down to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. On the 4 beat, we go down to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, hit that, and slide down to the 5th fret. So the second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now on the 3rd bar, on the 1 beat, we actually hit the 7th fret and slide back up to 9th. So 1 and. So that's our little exception to the rule. Otherwise, everything's on the 2 end and 4 end. For the rest of this 3rd bar, it's identical to the 1st bar. But to get to this 8th fret, what I do from this position is actually use my middle finger to hit this 8th fret and slide down. And then 10th fret of the 2nd string to 8. So the 3rd bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the 4th bar, we go back up to the 10th fret and then to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. But we're going to do a quick slide down to the 7th fret. So hit the 9th fret and quickly slide down to the 7th. And then on the 4 beat, we end on the 5th fret. So the final bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's it for the lead line in total, which sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And those are all the parts that you need to learn for this song. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song with a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Telling all the friends that I'm crazy, like I'm the
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.